Hello students, welcome to Easy Science YouTube channel. So today we'll discuss about acids, bases and salts. So before going to the class, please subscribe to Easy Science YouTube channel and click the bell icon so that you will never miss an update from my channel. So let's move to our class today, that is acids, bases and salts. See, in your lower sections also you have studied about acids, bases and salts. So you know that acids are the substances which are sour to taste. Acids are the substances which are sour to taste. Right. And acids turns blue litmus to red color. So these are some of the examples of natural acids, like lemon contains citric acid, vinegar contains acetic acid, apple contains malic acid, ant sting contains formic acid, milk contains lactic acid, grapes contain tartaric acid, and tomato contains oxalic acid. These are the natural source of acids, and we have chemical acids also like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, etc. So these all are examples of acids. So we know that acids are the substances which are sour to taste. But we can't taste all the acids because there are some strong acids also which we cannot taste them. Right. And bases are the substances which are bitter to taste. And they are soapy to touch and they turn red litmus to blue color. So these are the characteristics of bases, and these are some of the examples of bases like baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, bleach, ammonia, like found in many cleaners, glass cleaners, choline we have, which contains ammonium hydroxide only, drain cleaners, and many soaps, detergents contain bases only. And even the antacid syrup we use like dyes in the pink color syrup contains a base called magnesium hydroxide. So these all are bases. So what are the characteristics of bases means? Bases are the substances which are bitter to taste and they are soapy to touch. They turn red litmus to blue color. Right. So these are about acids and bases. So let's discuss about indicators. What are indicators? Indicators are the substances which can indicate the given substance is an acid or base by color change. Indicators are the substances which can indicate the given substance is an acid or base by color change. Those are called as indicators. And we have two types of indicators. They are natural indicators and artificial indicators or synthetic indicators. Natural indicators means which obtained naturally. Artificial or synthetic indicators are prepared in the laboratory. So natural indicators, and I have given examples of natural indicators. Litmus solution, its nature is purple color and the litmus solution gives red color in acids and with bases it gives blue color. Turmeric solution which is yellow in color, in acids it gives yellow color. That means it's already yellow, no change, no color change. Acids but bases it gives red color. Beetroot juice is an natural indicator and it doesn't show any change with acids like same color, but bases it will gives you yellow color. And red cabbage juice which is purple color, with bases it will gives you green or yellow color. China rose solution, and naturally it is red in color, in acids it gives magenta color and with bases it gives green color. So these are the indicators which indicate the given substance is an acid or base by color change. So litmus gives red color with acids and blue color with bases. Turmeric solution no change. Bases it will gives red color. Beetroot juice with acids no change, but with bases it gives yellow color. Red cabbage juice gives red color with acids and with bases it gives green or yellow color. China rose solution which is red in color, with acids it gives magenta color and bases it gives green color. So these are the some of the examples of natural indicators. And the artificial or synthetic indicators, we have two indicators, that is phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Phenolphthalein will become colorless with acids and gives red color with bases. Phenolphthalein is gives like it gives colorless, it becomes colorless with acids, and methyl orange will gives red color with acids, and with bases phenolphthalein gives pink color and yellow, methyl orange gives yellow color with bases. So this is, these both colors are for phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Phenolphthalein will become colorless with acids and methyl orange gives red color with acids, and phenolphthalein with bases, it gives pink color, and methyl orange gives yellow color with bases. So these are the, why we are calling these substances as indicators, because they are indicating the given substance is an acid or base by color change, right? So some of the acids and bases here I have given as examples. Acetic acid is present in vinegar, formic acid is present in ant string, citric acid is present in citrus family fruits such as oranges, lemons, etc. Lactic acid is present in milk and curd, oxalic acid is present in spinach, even tomato also contains oxalic acid. Ascorbic acid is present in, it's vitamin C present in amla and citrus fruits. Tartaric acid is present in tamarind, grapes, unripened mangoes, etc. So these are the natural acids present in this nature, and these are the some of the bases, like calcium hydroxide is known as lime water, ammonium hydroxide is present in window cleaners, and soaps contain sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide, I said milk of magnesia is present in antacid tablets or syrups. Most of the antacid tablets or syrups contains milk of magnesia. So these are the examples of some of the acids and bases. Now, the next one is olfactory indicators. Till now we discussed about the indicators which can indicate the given substance by color change. So what are olfactory indicators? Olfactory indicators also indicators which can indicate the given substance as an acid or base by odor change or smell change. The substances which change their odor, like when they come in contact with acids or bases, are termed as olfactory indicators. So the examples of olfactory indicators are clove oil, onion, and vanilla essence. So when bases come in contact with olfactory indicators, you know, clove oil, onion, vanilla essence, they have their characteristic smells. So when they come in contact with the bases, they change their or they lose their characteristic odors. If the substance loses, like the indicators are losing their characteristic order when they come in contact with any substance, then the substance is termed as bases. Olfactory indicators does not show any change with acids. Only when they come in contact with bases, the indicators change their or the indicators lose their characteristic order. Such substances are termed as olfactory indicators. The examples of olfactory indicators are clove oil, onion, and vanilla essence. You know, they have their characteristic order, they lose their characteristic order. Right. Now let's discuss about the chemical properties of acids and bases. The first one is reaction of acids with metals. This is a lab activity. So some materials are required to do this lab activity. So what are the materials required for this activity? So our aim is to show the reaction of acids with metals. The materials required are test tube, cork, delivery tube, a trough which contains soap water, right? Retort stand, zinc granules, dilute sulfuric acid, a burning candle is required for this activity. So we have to take a test tube, and in the test tube take dilute hydrochloric acid solution. Add zinc granules to the dilute hydrochloric acid solution and close the test tube with the help of a cork. Insert a hole to the cork. through that hole insert a delivery tube. One end of the delivery tube is inside the test tube and other end is present inside the trough which contains soap water. Right. So after some time you observe small bubbles are coming out from the soap water. Now bring a burning candle near the soap water. You observe that the candle burns with pop sound, or a burning matchstick also you can bring, it will burns with pop sound. Like when you brought the candle, burning candle or burning matchstick near the air bubbles, it started producing pop sound. So this is a lab activity which shows that the reaction of acids with metals. So we identified that as the bubbles are producing pop sound, we can say that the gas produced is hydrogen gas. So all the metals react with acids to produce hydrogen gas. So the general reaction we can write like this. Acid plus metal gives rise to salt, and hydrogen gas is liberated in this reaction. So all acids react with the metals to liberate hydrogen gas. Now here, the hydrogen gas liberated from the test tube was passed into a trough which contains soap water through the delivery tube. What is the reason why we have passed the hydrogen gas into the trough which contains soap water? See, hydrogen gas do not dissolve in the soap water and the solution like easily forms, as hydrogen bubbles do not mix or dissolve with the water. So the gas will easily forms. The hydrogen gas which forms during the reaction will easily forms bubbles in the solution. As they are not dissolving, it easily forms bubbles in the solution, and the bubbles contain hydrogen gas. So bubbles are not formed, like we do not use water inside the trough. We used soap water because bubbles are not formed inside the water. They are formed inside the soap water. That's why we used soap. Hydrogen gas do not dissolve in soap water, but it form bubbles which contains hydrogen gas, and you can clearly observe the pop sound when the hydrogen gas was passed through the soap water. That's why we have passed the hydrogen liberated in this reaction into the trough which contains soap water. Next, the reaction of bases with metals. Even bases also react with metals to liberate hydrogen gas. So sodium hydroxide reacts with zinc to give rise to sodium zincate, and hydrogen gas is liberated. This salt is called sodium zincate and hydrogen gas is liberated in this reaction. So bases also react with metals to liberate hydrogen gas, but such reactions are not possible with all metals. Bases react with metals to liberate hydrogen gas. Only two metals react with bases to liberate hydrogen gas. One is zinc and the second one is aluminium. Remaining metals do not react with the bases to liberate hydrogen gas. Only zinc and aluminium can react with bases to liberate hydrogen gas. Why only these two metals? Because you know metallic oxides, like we already discussed about metals and non-metals in previous classes. Like in 8th class we have metals and non-metals, where you know that all metal oxides are basic in nature, right? So bases react with the metals means like it is water reacting with water. Looks like water reacting with water. The same thing, bases with metals means bases are reacting with bases only. So there is an exceptional case, only zinc and aluminium can react with bases to liberate hydrogen gas. Now what is the reason why only these two metals can react with bases to liberate hydrogen gas? Because these two metals are amphoteric. You know what do you mean by amphoteric? Amphoteric means which can behave as both acids and bases. So zinc and aluminium are amphoteric. That means they can behave as both acids and bases. That's why they can react with bases. When they are reacting with base, they behave like acids. That's why they can liberate hydrogen gas. Only these two metals. This is an exceptional case. Bases generally do not react with bases. metals generally do not react with bases, because all metals are basic in nature. So there is an exceptional case where only these two metals react with bases to liberate hydrogen gas. So that's why I have given here that such reactions are not possible with all metals. That is possible only with these two metals, zinc and aluminium, as zinc and aluminium are amphoteric in nature. Now, the reaction of acids with metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. So, this is a lab activity. So, the aim is to show the reaction of acids with metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates. So, what are the materials needed for this lab activity? Retort stand, test tube, cork, delivery tube, two test tubes, thistle funnel, cork, dilute hydrochloric acid, sodium carbonate is required. And even in the test tube we have calcium hydroxide solution also. So these are the materials required for this lab activity. So the materials required for this lab activity are retort stand, two test tubes, cork, dilute hydrochloric acid, sodium carbonate, calcium hydroxide solution, delivery tube is needed. So before going to the activity, prepare a solution of dilute hydrochloric acid. That means you have to take hydrochloric acid and add water to the hydrochloric acid solution in order to make the hydrochloric acid dilute. Now add sodium carbonate. It's a salt. Sodium carbonate, add sodium carbonate to the test tube and close the test tube with the help of a cork, right? And insert a delivery tube. One end of the delivery tube is inside the test tube, which contains the solution of hydrochloric acid and sodium carbonate, and another end of the delivery tube is inside the another test tube which contains calcium hydroxide solution. And leave this apparatus for half an hour. You observe that after some time you observe that the test tube which contains calcium hydroxide solution, like calcium hydroxide is known as lime water, it turns milky white. Initially it's colorless solution. Which one? Calcium hydroxide solution. Lime water is a colorless solution. After some time we observe that lime water turns milky, that is it is looking like very white in color. So what happens? The sodium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to liberate carbon dioxide gas. So the gas which was liberating in the test tube was passing into the another test tube which contains lime water through the delivery tube. You know, this is the test for carbon dioxide. Like lime water turns milky. So when acids react with metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates, they liberate carbon dioxide gas. Like we can write the equation like this. Hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium carbonate, it's Na2CO3, gives rise to sodium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water is liberated in this reaction. So to balance the equation, I will write 2 here, and here also I will write 2 here. Now this is a balanced equation. So acids react with metal carbonates to liberate hydrogen gas. Now in this activity, we have passed the carbon dioxide into another test tube through a delivery tube which contains lime water. So this is the test for carbon dioxide. We want to test the gas liberated in this activity. The carbon dioxide, like the gas liberated in this activity, was turning lime water milky, was changing lime water milky. That means lime water is calcium hydroxide. Here I am writing. See here I will write CaOH twice reacts with carbon dioxide to give rise to calcium carbonate. It's CaCO3 plus H2O. This is calcium carbonate is formed. When carbon dioxide reacts with lime water, calcium carbonate is formed. This is the formula of marble stone, which is very white in color. So that's why the lime water turns milky. And you can bring a burning matchstick also, that will put out, because carbon dioxide does not support combustion. So we can say that acids react with metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates to liberate carbon dioxide gas. So acid-base reaction. Now we are discussing about acid-base reaction. Right. Take about 2 milliliters of dilute sodium hydroxide solution in a test tube. Add 1 drop of phenolphthalein indicator to the test tube. You know, bases will give pink color with phenolphthalein indicator. So when you use phenolphthalein indicator, the color of the solution is pink color, turns into pink color. Now add dilute hydrochloric acid solution to the above solution drop by drop. Now you observe that the solution slowly becomes colorless. Now again add 2 to 3 drops of sodium hydroxide. Again the pink color of the solution will reappear. So in the above activity you observe that the pink color disappears on adding hydrochloric acid, and again it will reappear if you add sodium hydroxide solution. Right. Initially we took sodium hydroxide solution. If you add phenolphthalein indicator, it gives pink color. Now you started slowly, you slowly started adding hydrochloric acid. That becomes the solution. Now the solution becomes colorless. And again if you started adding sodium hydroxide solution, again the solution started turning pink color. Now this is an example of reacting an acid with a base. Acid reacts with base to give salt and water. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. See, initially the base can turn phenolphthalein solution. Base can able to give pink color with phenolphthalein solution. That is the effect of the base. But when you add an acid, hydrochloric acid, the pink color disappears. That means the effect of base is nullified by an acid. Again the pink color reappears and adding a drop of sodium hydroxide, because the effect of acid is nullified by the base. So this is a reaction that was occurring between an acid and a base. The reaction that occurs between an acid and a base is known as neutralization reaction. That is, hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide to give rise to salt and water. Sodium chloride is salt and water is liberated. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. This is known as neutralization reaction. So the reaction of an acid with a base to give salt and water is known as neutralization reaction. So neutralization reaction, we can express it in a general equation, that is acid react with the base to give salt and water. So this is a general reaction where an acid reacts with the base to give salt and water. This is known as neutralization reaction. So we have discussed about acids, bases and salts, some topics related to acids, bases and salts. Now let us discuss what type of questions can be asked in these topics. Like, what are natural indicators? Give examples. Natural indicators are the indicators which exist naturally. So examples means litmus is a natural indicator, right? Turmeric powder is a natural indicator. Beetroot solution is a natural indicator. So what are artificial indicators? Give examples. Artificial indicators means the indicators which prepared artificially in a chemical laboratory are known as artificial indicators. Example, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Olfactory indicators. What are olfactory indicators? Give examples. Olfactory indicators are the indicators which can change their characteristic order when they come in contact with acids or bases. So examples are clove oil, vanilla essence and onion. So the next question is, when acids react with metals, they liberate hydrogen gas. In this activity, hydrogen gas is passed into soap water through delivery tube. Give reason why hydrogen gas is passed through soap water. Hydrogen gas is passed through soap water because hydrogen do not dissolve in soap water and easily produces bubbles which contain hydrogen gas. And you can easily identify, like it produces the pop sound very efficiently or very effectively. That's why we have passed the hydrogen gas into the trough which contains soap water through a delivery tube. So we do not pass the hydrogen gas into the water because water cannot able to produce bubbles. Soap water can able to produce bubbles which contains this hydrogen gas, as hydrogen is not soluble in soap water solution. Why do all bases cannot react with metals to liberate hydrogen gas? See, we already discussed that metals are already bases. So base reacting with base is not happened. That's why all metals do not react with bases. There is an exception for two metals, that is zinc and aluminium. They both can react with bases to give hydrogen gas or to liberate hydrogen gas, because zinc and aluminium are amphoteric. That means they can behave as acids and bases also. Amphoteric means which can has acidic and basic properties also. Right. If you consume an antacid tablet during indigestion, what type of reaction takes place? See, gastric juice. Inside the stomach, gastric juice is secreted which contains hydrochloric acid. So the amount of hydrochloric acid liberated will be always dependent on the quantity of food we consume. Sometimes hydrochloric acid will be liberated in large quantity irrespective of the quantity of food, or else sometimes hydrochloric acid is secreted even before we eat the food, which produces burning sensation inside the stomach. Right, that we call it as indigestion. So whenever there is an indigestion, we consume antacid tablet or powder like Eno or Digin syrup or Digin tablets. We consume. So what type of reaction takes place inside the stomach if we consume antacid tablet during indigestion? Right. Neutralization reaction takes place. If we consume antacid tablet during indigestion, neutralization reaction takes place. And we can get rid of the burning sensation because stomach contains hydrochloric acid and the antacid tablet we consume contains a base. Naturally, like it is magnesium hydroxide. So this magnesium hydroxide will react with hydrochloric acid to give rise to MgCl2 plus H2O is liberated. So this is 2H2O. This is a balanced equation. Or else the Eno powder or they contains sodium bicarbonate, that is hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3 to give rise to salt NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 is liberated. So this reaction we called it as neutralization reaction, where an acid reacts with base. The acidity of the acid will be nullified by the basicity of the base. The resulting solution will be a neutral solution which can able to get rid of the pain or the burning sensation that is created by hydrochloric acid. So if you consume an antacid tablet during indigestion, neutralization reaction takes place. Now, acids turns. Here I have given 4 options. Red litmus to blue color, blue litmus to red color, red litmus no change, blue litmus no change. So which options are correct? So the first one, option A and B are correct. Option 2, only B is correct. Option 3, A and C are correct. And option 4, all are incorrect. See here, acids turn. So it's not A and C, it's B and C. Option 3 is B and C. So acids turn blue litmus to red color and even with red litmus they do not show any change. So both the options are correct. So here the third statement is correct. Option B and C are correct. Acids turn blue litmus to red color and acids do not show any change with red litmus. Right. The next question. Bases turn. Option 1 blue litmus to red. Option 2 red litmus to blue. Option 3 blue litmus no change. Option 4 red litmus no change. So which options are correct? Option A only 1 is correct. Option B 1 and 3 are correct. Option C 2 and 3 are correct. Option D only 4 is correct. See, bases turn red litmus to blue color and bases do not show any color change for blue litmus. So here option C is correct. That is statements 2 and 3 are correct. What is the statement 2? Bases turn red litmus to blue color. Is bases turn red litmus to blue color. And the third option is bases do not show any change with blue litmus. So options like statements 2 and 3 are correct. So option C is correct. So the next question is, what is the test for hydrogen gas? Option A, burn with, like if you bring a burning matchstick or candle, it burn with pop sound, lime water turns milky, matchstick burns brightly. Option D, all the above. Which option is correct? So option A is correct. This is the test for hydrogen gas where hydrogen gas will burn in the air with pop sound. Right. The next question. The gas liberated when metal carbonates react with acids. We have done this, like we have discussed this activity also, that is gas liberated when an acid react with metal carbonates is carbon dioxide gas. Next. What is the test for carbon dioxide gas? Carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. A substance is colorless with phenolphthalein indicator. See, I have given you a substance and I ask you to add 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. The substance is colorless. Then the substance is dash. Option A acid, option B base, option C neutral, option D none of the above. If a substance becomes colorless with phenolphthalein indicator, then the substance is acid. So option A correct. Now the next question. A substance gives yellow color with methyl orange. Then the substance is, like you have a substance and you are testing with methyl orange. You add methyl orange indicator, 2 to 3 drops of methyl orange indicator to that substance and the substance give yellow color. Then what is that substance? Like what is the nature of the substance? Is it acidic or basic or neutral or none of the above? It's basic in nature. The substances which gives yellow color with methyl orange are termed as bases. Now, the acid present in the vinegar is, like we discussed about the natural acids also. So, the acid present in the vinegar is option A hydrochloric acid, option B sulfuric acid, option C acetic acid, option D nitric acid. So, which option is correct? It's acetic acid. Now, the next question. The acid present in the gastric juice is, I said, when you eat the food, when food entering into the stomach, stomach secretes gastric juice which contain an acid. What is that acid is called? Option A nitric acid, option B hydrochloric acid, option C sulfuric acid, option D carbonic acid. So, which option is correct? So, the correct option is hydrochloric acid. Gastric juice contain hydrochloric acid. Right. So this is about the class today about acids, bases and salts. So these are the some questions which can be asked in this topic. So I hope you all like the video. So if you like the video, please like my video and share the video with your friends. Please subscribe to Easy Science YouTube channel. So